My name's Joelle, and I'll be your yoga teacher today. If you've never done yoga before, don't worry, we're going to keep our practice really gentle. And I'll show you some modifications so that you can decide throughout what works best for you. Throughout the class, always ensure that you're listening to your body. If at any point you feel dizzy or if you feel pain, then please stop and speak to your doctor before continuing with the exercise. Also, always make sure that any vascular access points remain safe throughout the practice. You're welcome at any point to take a rest if necessary, but besides that, just relax, have fun, and enjoy the practice. And when you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. This practice is going to be a Yin Yoga practice. I'll explain what that means in a session, but let me start out by saying that you don't need any special equipment for today's practice. That said, for many of us, it's going to be nice to keep one or maybe several cushions nearby, just for additional comfort. So I'd like you to meet me in a seated position on your mat, and it can be any comfortable seated position at all. You could come to sit on your pillow, you could be cross-legged or sitting on your heels, or you could even have your legs out in front of you. So it's up to you, and once you've found that position, let's just start by rolling the shoulders back and closing the eyes. To take a few nice deep breaths in together and arrive to the practice. And when you've finished your next deep exhale, you can blink the eyes open, and we'll come towards our first Yin Yoga posture of the day, which is going to be a seated butterfly. So I'm going to make use of that pillow now, and you might like to do the same. Placing it under the hips, and eventually bringing the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. So this is our butterfly posture. And you could have additional pillows or props stacked up underneath the heels. You could even place your back against a wall just to feel that little bit of extra support there. And the hands can rest anywhere that they naturally come to. So we're looking for a tall spine here. Imagine the crown of the head just growing tall in the direction of the sky. And if you haven't already, I invite you to once more close the eyes and come back to your breath. So if you are new to the practice of Yin Yoga, the first thing to know about it is that Yin Yoga is a style where we hold postures for longer than we would in a traditional yoga class. So this can be up to several minutes at a time, or you can also count a specific number of breaths. And in all of the postures today, you are welcome to come out of them a little bit sooner if you need to, or if you start to feel discomfort. But otherwise, just listen to my voice. Trust me to carry you forwards into that next posture once we're ready. And for each of our postures today, I'll talk us in, and then I'll give us a few moments of silence. One of the values of Yin is the ability to be with yourself and observe changes to your body and mind over time. So you might find that the longer the body holds this posture, perhaps the closer your knees will start to sink towards the floor, or perhaps the crown of the head might get that little bit taller. You might notice changes in the spine, or in the way you breathe. Or you might not notice much of anything at all, and that's fine too. So wherever you are, whatever expression of this posture you've chosen for today, let's remain here together for about 10 more deep breaths, in and out through the nose, at your own pace. Very slowly we'll begin to shift towards our second yin posture of the day, and I'll give you an option here. So I'd like you to either experiment with coming towards what we call a loose square pose, and what that is basically a loose cross-legged position. So with the right foot just staggered ever so slightly in front of the left. And again, just letting those knees softly drape out towards the side. Maybe the hands rest on the knees. Maybe the fingertips help prop you up beside you. For any other comfortable posture with the hands. So remaining in this loose square pose, or the second option is to come towards a deer pose. The right foot is going to stay where it is, so very similar to coming out of our butterfly posture we were just in. We'll keep the right leg there, and we'll start to shift this left leg back so that the left foot is resting somewhere close to our left hip, and the knee is down, coming out from the hip. So again, you can choose which one of those will work best for today, as long as you can find some amount of comfort in the pose. And once again, once you have settled in, you can close the eyes and turn back towards your breath. And there are 3 foundational principles in this style of Yin Yoga. The first principle is that we find what is called the edge. And you can think of the edge as your personal limit for today. So if you think of a scale of comfort from 1 to 10, with 1 being that you are completely comfortable, and 10 being that you are extremely uncomfortable, perhaps even approaching pain, we want to be somewhere around that middle point. So a 4 or a 5. We're feeling sensation, we're feeling opening and length, but we're not pushing or pulling or forcing. So again, in this deer pose, or perhaps in your loose square, let's remain here together for 10 more slow and steady breaths. And finishing out your last deep exhale here, gently open the eyes, and I'd like you to return to that butterfly pose, regardless of where you're coming from, and you might need to give that left leg a little bit of a helping hand so that we can eventually bring the soles of the feet back together. And it's up to you whether you'd like to simply hold still for just a moment here, or maybe give those knees a little bit of a shake. You can think about a butterfly waving its wings. And then we'll transition over to the second side. So maybe that means a loose square, just gently staggering that left foot in front of the right. Or maybe it means gently pulling the right foot back to meet the hip, letting the left knee fall open, the hands fall anywhere that they may, the eyes to close. And our second foundational principle in Yin Yoga, after the idea of finding our edge, which I invite you to do again in this new posture, is that we remain still. So you're always welcome to take your time to find the pose that is right for you. And once you have found it, see if you can really come to stillness. What would it take for the body to really and truly relax without any gripping in the face or the hands, the jaw, the shoulders? Any of these areas where we traditionally tend to hold tension. So as you explore that notion, once again, I invite you to join me for 10 slow breaths. And once you've finished that last deep breath, start by opening the eyes and returning towards that butterfly, wherever you're coming from. Soles of the feet coming back together, any movement or stillness that works for you. Just to rebound from the intensity of that pose. And for our final stretch, let's bring the hands to the outside of the knees just to help them back together. And you might like to shift off of your pillow if you were sitting up on one. And just place it a little bit further down your mat so that we can lie over the back of it. So the pillow will go under the chest. You might want a second pillow underneath the head as well. You might want to shuffle around a little bit, just to find what works best for you. I'm actually going to shift that a little bit further back myself. And the legs could be extended out in front of you, or you might be more comfortable with the feet flat to the floor. So this is a variation of our heart melting posture. And it allows us to really feel the breath filling the rib cage, and then expelling any tension or negative energy with your exhale. And our third foundational principle in Yin Yoga, after the ideas of finding the edge and then finding stillness, is to hold for time. And that will mean something different to each one of us. The longer you remain in the pose, the more likely it is that the body will trust and let go. But for now, let's hold for those 10 slow breaths. And you're absolutely welcome, if you'd like, to remain in this posture a little longer. Or you can join me by rolling to whichever side feels best to you, and using one hand to very slowly lift your way back up and find any seat that is comfortable for you. Give yourself plenty of time before coming to standing or taking on any other activities for your day. I do hope you enjoyed this Yin Yoga practice. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.